I still remember the moment my life changed forever. I stood in my kitchen holding a pregnancy test, staring at 2 pink lines. I was going to be a mother, but the man who promised to stand beside me forever left before our baby was even born. 3 years ago, I believed I had the perfect life. My name is Sarah, and my husband Daniel and I had been married for 2 years. We had dreams, plans, and a future we were building together. Or at least that's what I thought. Daniel and I met in college. He was charming, confident, and the kind of person who could make anyone laugh. Falling in love with him felt easy. Back then, I truly believed we would spend the rest of our lives together. The day I found out I was pregnant, my heart raced with 1,000 emotions. Excitement, fear, and hope. This baby wasn't exactly planned, but I believed it would bring us even closer together. That evening, I decided to surprise Daniel. I wrapped the pregnancy test in a small gift box and placed it on the dining table. I imagined his reaction 100 times in my head. I thought he would be happy. But when Daniel opened the box, he didn't smile. His face went completely blank. "Are you serious?" he asked quietly. He nodded. "We're going to have a baby." But something in his eyes had already changed. But when Daniel opened the box, he didn't smile. His face went completely blank. "Are you serious?" he asked quietly. He nodded. "We're going to have a baby." But something in his eyes had already changed. One night, I finally asked him the question I had been afraid to say out loud. "Daniel, are you happy about this baby?" He looked away and sighed. "I'm not ready for this, Sarah." Those words felt like a knife in my heart. I was 5 months pregnant when everything finally fell apart. Daniel sat on the edge of the bed and said something I will never forget. "I can't do this anymore." I looked at the suitcase by the door, and suddenly everything made sense. He was leaving. I was 5 months pregnant when everything finally fell apart. Daniel sat on the edge of the bed and said something I will never forget. "I can't do this anymore." I looked at the suitcase by the door, and suddenly everything made sense. He was leaving. After he left, the apartment felt unbearably silent. I sat on the floor crying until I could barely breathe. My husband had abandoned me, and our unborn child. I had never felt so alone. Then suddenly, felt something. Small kick. My baby was reminding me that I wasn't alone after all. And in that moment I realized something important. I had to be strong now. Not just for me, but for my child. Slowly I began rebuilding my life. I moved in with my sister. I focused on preparing for the baby. And little by little, the fear inside me started turning into determination. 9 months later, my son Ethan was born. When the nurse placed him in my arms, I felt something I had never felt before. Pure love. In that moment, all the pain suddenly felt worth it. Being a single mother wasn't easy. There were sleepless nights, financial worries, and moments when I felt completely exhausted. But every time Ethan smiled at me, I remembered why I kept going. 2 years later, something unexpected happened. Daniel sent me a message. Just 3 simple words. "Can we talk?" I looked across the room at Ethan playing on the floor, and suddenly I realized something. The woman Daniel left behind no longer existed. Motherhood had made me stronger than I ever imagined. My husband left me when I was pregnant, but he didn't take my future with him. Instead, he unknowingly gave me the greatest gift of all, the chance to discover just how strong a mother can truly be.